It's a new year, it's a new day. Yes, it is. Day one to be exact. But unfortunately, it was a pretty uneventful Monday Night Raw. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. It was WWE's big show, the first show of 2024. They hype it as WWE Day 1, but it could have been Day 2, it could have been Day 3, it could have been Day 365. It just wasn't that good. It wasn't a great show. Now, there was one standout moment, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Former WWE champion returning. Let's talk a little bit about it right now, though. Come on, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Anytime The Rock comes back, you're guaranteed something good. And we got something good. The Rock came out, he saved America, he saved the crowd, he buried Jinder Mahal, he laid the smackdown on Jinder Mahal, and then he essentially gave a challenge out to Roman Reigns to be head of the Anoa'i family come WrestleMania 40. So, yeah. Good stuff there from The Rock. But unfortunately, Mr. Rocky Balboa, or Rocky Maivia, should I say, not Rocky Balboa, but I like Rocky too. Rocky Balboa is great. But unfortunately, Rocky Maivia, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, he couldn't take up the 3 hours, so we have to go through the entire show. We kick off with an announcement from Cole and Barrett. They welcome us to a brand new year in WWE. You can see straight off the bat, they're trying to make this a big show. They're trying to make this feel important, and I've no issues with that. They're trying. That's all they can do. Would have helped if they put on a better show, but at least they're trying to give this show a big feel. 2024, Day 1. It's almost like a mini premium live event. We kick off with the first match, Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax. Before this happened though, we got like a 3-minute promo showing you the build up to this match, and it's just everything is so dragged out now. Why do we need 3 minutes? Why can't we just get straight into the match? Why can't they show us a quick version of the feud, of the storyline? There's no storyline. The whole thing is basically over Nia Jax punching Becky Lynch, and I felt like the fact they kept focusing on that punch. It's almost like they're telling us that, yo, wrestling ain't real, and that the one time that Nia Jax messed up and done it incorrectly, she actually hurt Becky Lynch. I don't know why they focus so much on this one punch, because yeah, for me, it just makes it look like an accident. It's basically saying wrestling's fake. That's what I get from this. Anyway, we have the match, Becky Lynch, Nia Jax. One of Nia Jax's best matches probably in WWE, and I mean, I'm not surprised because it was against Becky Lynch, who is pretty good. I'm not a massive fan of Becky Lynch, but I can't deny that she is pretty talented for a woman. You know, she puts on good matches. Jax hits her with a big right hand to the chin, and then she hits the Annihilator off the middle rope and gets the victory. And we see Becky Lynch is all like busted up and stuff. So yeah, not good for Becky Lynch. She loses to Nia Jax. Where's Nia Jax going from here? I don't know, maybe champion of Raw, who knows. Cody Rhodes, Shinsuke Nakamura segment up next. Cody Rhodes comes out. He asks everybody, what do they want to talk about? I don't know how people can like this guy. I don't know how people find this guy entertaining. I'm just done with Cody Rhodes. The whole what do you want to talk about gimmick is wearing thin, and it's been wearing thin for a long time. He comes out with a smug look on his face. Cody Rhodes thinks that he's great. He thinks that he's this big fucking star. He thinks that he's this amazing wrestler, and he's not. He's not an amazing wrestler. He's not an amazing sports entertainer. He's not a massive draw. He is just a guy that's been shoved down our throat. And at the beginning, it was kind of cool because he walked out on the company. He went and did what he did in AEW. He came back, and it was like sort of unreal seeing him in a WWE ring. But now it's just boring. The guy's coming out. He's just so cookie cutter. There's nothing interesting about him. Comes out in a suit. What do you want to talk about? I mean, that's literally it every single fucking week. Nakamura gets challenged to finish this right here, right now. But Nakamura says he's going to give the American Nightmare one more week to dream. And I guess that's the match set up for next week. So what I got from this was WWE felt like they put too much good stuff on tonight, that they didn't want to rush everything. They didn't want to put all their eggs in the one basket, so to speak. They felt like tonight's show was good enough, so therefore they're going to save this match for next week. And they did that with CM Punk. CM Punk not on the show tonight. I'm assuming WWE, because they were bringing The Rock back, probably felt like they didn't need CM Punk, but why not go all out? Why not try and give us a great show? Just because you've got one massive return tonight, that doesn't mean Punk can't be here. Why can't we get lots of good stuff. Why can't we get several good things? But no, I felt like they could have packed this out. They could have did Cody Rhodes versus Nakamura tonight. Why not? But they're obviously just trying to push it back a week and then have CM Punk come out next week. And I don't know. I mean, I felt like back in the day, every show they were trying to make it as good as they possibly could. But now it's almost like, right, as long as we have a couple of decent things on this week's show, then we can save everything else for next week and the week after. I don't get that mentality, but I think that's what WWE are trying to do. Up next, Jey Uso and Kofi Kingston versus Imperium. Giovanni Finchi got injured, looks like a concussion. Hopefully he's alright. Giovanni Finchi! I cannot stand Samantha and her fucking announcing. But yeah, hopefully he's alright. I think he's got a concussion, big boot to the face there for Kofi Kingston. And especially when he was coming towards the boot, it's going to do a bit of damage. But I think he'll be alright. I mean, he left the ring on his own, so he's probably okay. Just I think the referee called it off to be safe, but I don't think it was necessary. Probably could have continued the match 2-on-1, but they decided to stop it. Who cares? I mean, it's a throwaway match. It means nothing anyway. Jey Uso and Kofi Kingston got the win for a referee stoppage, so probably no point in risking health here for like I said, a throwaway tag match that means absolutely nothing. Miz TV with his special guest, the Judgment Day. Out comes R-Truth though. San Diego, what's up? But there's no Judgment Day with him. The Miz is like, what happened? Where is the Judgment Day? R-Truth's like, I swear they were just behind me. And the Miz accuses them of seeing invisible people again. And we get a little Jimmy reference. And we also got some awesome Truth references. Dominic comes out with JD McDonagh. JD McDonagh's not happy that Truth's out here representing the Judgment Day. Dominic can't even speak because the crowd boo the hell out of him. But he basically says the Miz spent an entire year laying on his back. The Miz tells Dominic that you spent 2023 getting your ass spanked off your dad. A little bit gay there. Miz thinks that JD McDonagh shouldn't even be out here because R-Truth beat him. And a loser leaves the Judgment Day match. And then they eventually get a tag team match. R-Truth and The Miz taking on JD McDonagh and Dominic Mysterio. And it's a win for the Skull Crushing finale on to McDonagh. That's it. There you go. Awesome Truth win. Judgment Day lose again. Would I want to see a return of Awesome Truth? I mean, why not? I get it though, back then they were being treated as serious wrestlers. R-Truth was coming out and smoking in the arena. R-Truth was being a madman, but he's just not that same guy anymore. It was alright for a one-off thing, but I don't think we're going to see an Awesome Truth reunion, and I don't think I want to see it. We then got a vignette with Katana Chance, Caden Carter, Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Basically, Green and Niven go to this nightclub to get a rematch. Chance and Carter say, we're fighting champions, so you've got your rematch, and they throw champagne in their face. Just not really interesting, didn't really care. Fourth match tonight, Rhea Ripley versus Ivy Nile for the WWE Women's Championship. I don't understand Ivy Nile. Small, mutant looking, little freak. Not attractive, just muscly. To me, I see nothing in Ivy Nile. I don't know why she's on this main roster. Purely, I think it's because she was teaming up with the Creed brothers, and then obviously they bring up the Creed brothers, so therefore they just bring up Ivy Nile because they've got nothing else for her. But I don't think she should be in this match. I don't think she deserves a title shot. And Rhea Ripley wins, but you know what? This match was so unappealing to look at. And yeah, Ivy Nile, I just don't see anything with Ivy Nile. Why the hell do we have people like Cora Jade and Tiffany Stratton on NXT, but we have someone like Ivy Nile on the main roster getting a title shot? Ivy Nile was never close to winning an NXT title. At least Roxanne Perez has been champion. At least Cora Jade has competed for the belt. Ivy Nile was a fucking bum on NXT, but she's now getting championship matches by default because she got called up to the main roster because of the Creeds. And there's pretty much no one else to face Rhea Ripley. The Raw division absolutely sucks. So everyone else that's on the show is focused on the tag team belt. So yeah, what a waste this is. Rhea Ripley does her whole weird pin, stack up pin, where she likes to penetrate the person. I mean, it's just fucking gay. You can imagine that Rhea Ripley's into this shit. She looks like a big masculine dude anyway, so yeah, that doesn't surprise me. We get told that CM Punk's returning next week. Great. Alright, then we get told we're getting the WWE Champion return. Out comes Jinder Mahal. Crowd aren't happy. He says that thousands of superstars have competed in the ring. Only 50 have been WWE champion, and his name is at the top. He then bashes America, your politics, your news, your social media. It's all the same. Ignorance, misinformation. We get a USA chant. Or, well, we don't really, but, I mean, Mahal gets a USA chant going. We're in San Diego, not exactly the most patriotic state in America. I mean, I'm surprised Mahal didn't get cheered. When he came out and he was bashing America, I'm surprised that the San Diego people weren't cheering Mahal. He then starts speaking Punjabi. He says the national anthem in Punjabi. And he says that they're all ignorant for booing him because he was actually trying to praise them by singing America the Brave or whatnot. But then we get a massive pop. It's The Rock. The Rock comes out. He calls him the day one douchebag. He swore a little bit. He swore he was imitating the Iron Sheik, saying what the Iron Sheik would say about Mahal. And he said, "Oh, who is this no good dirty son of a bitch, jabroni bastard?" I know that's a shite impersonation, but still, I'm going with it. Mahal then says, of course, Rock is here. He's the guy that just magically appears anytime the WWE Universe is being insulted. He's here to defend the fans. And The Rock says, look, you are safe. You've got the freedom of speech, but you're not safe from the consequence of an ass whooping here for The Rock. The Rock then makes a little Baywatch joke here. He says, you're as unfunny as Baywatch. And Mahal says, I didn't watch Baywatch. And The Rock's like, well, yeah, don't worry, nobody else did. So The Rock here downplaying, he's obviously admitting to the fact that Baywatch not only sucked, but it did terrible in the movie theatres and that barely anyone watched it. And then he asked Mahal, are you sure you didn't watch it? Mahal's like, yeah, thankfully I've never seen It doesn't matter if you haven't seen Baywatch. Then The Rock just went on to keep bashing Mahal and called him a day one douchebag, got the crowd to chant day one douchebag, day one douchebag. I mean, good stuff for The Rock. And then Mahal kicks The Rock in the gut after The Rock says he's got no choice left. So The Rock did his own little national anthem and he insulted Mahal's balls and said, you're angry, toxic douchebag who clearly has no class. So you left The Rock no choice but to whoop your candy ass. They get in a brawl. Rock ends up overcoming Mahal, hits the people's elbow, then talks about food, says that he's hungry. The Rock says that he loves bars. Should The Rock sit at the bar or should The Rock sit at the head of the table? And basically challenges Roman Reigns here to a match at WrestleMania 40. Reigns versus Rock. Are we finally going to get it? Based on what we've seen here, I think we might. And then how do we go from The Rock? How do we improve after that? We go into a match featuring Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler comes out. So the last person we seen was The Rock, and the next person we see is Shayna Baszler, and that's exactly what's wrong with fucking Raw. And you can't even explain. You cannot explain the difference between The Rock and Shayna Baszler. This is the equivalent of like walking outside. The Rock is like you step foot in like $10 million and you get to keep it all. And then Shayna Baszler's the like equivalent of you step foot in dog shite and you have to go home and clean your shoes and clean the shite off your shoes. That's kind of what we're dealing with here. You go from greatness to something that just definitely ain't great. Shayna Baszler and Zoey Stark win. I predicted this. I knew this was going to happen. I'm not bragging. I mean, everybody knew this was going to happen. Whatever. They're getting the shots at the tag team titles. I don't really care. The women's division, it sucks. The tag team title division sucks. The Raw women's division sucks. Everything about Raw sucks. Everything about the women in general sucks. You know what? I think WWE do need to bring back Sasha Banks. At least it would spark a little bit of interest. I'd bring back Sasha Banks. I'd quickly debut Jade Cargill. I'd bring up Tiffany Stratton from NXT. There's definitely things that they could do here to make these divisions more interesting, but for some reason, they just aren't doing it. We then moved on to the main event of the evening, the World Heavyweight Championship match. It was Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. Decent match, but again, the commercials just killed this for me. 2 commercials in the space of 5 minutes. Is that necessary? Now, I don't know if the commercials take place at the same time. I'm assuming not, like if you depending on like what channel or what network you're watching it on. But I think they take the commercials at the wrong time. I think one commercial is bad enough. But you shouldn't be taking 2 or 3 commercials during a match. That just completely takes you out the game. You're enjoying it. You're thinking, oh, this is okay. And then you get a commercial and you're like, what the fuck? And then it comes back and you're like, right, okay, let's see who wins this. We'll ride it out to the end. And then they take another commercial. And it just makes the match feel unimportant. You know when there's a commercial, you know you ain't missing nothing. You know no one's going to win. No one's going to lose during the break. I just think that for me, there shouldn't be commercials during matches. I just don't think that should happen. I think commercials should happen when someone's like walking to the ring, you see them backstage, they're walking to the ring, or if someone's arriving at the arena and they pull out a limo. I get it, it's 2024 now, there's no stars in wrestling, people don't come out of limos now, like back in the day, had the Nature Boy, styling and profiling, or Mr. McMahon, you had important people that rode limos, but still, you get my point. I think that's a good time to take a commercial break. I don't think we need 10 commercial breaks during a world title match in the main event. I really don't. But the match was okay. When it looks like Seth Rollins is going to win, Judgment Day come out. Damian Priest looking to cash in. He hits Rollins with a briefcase. But before he can cash in, he takes a Claymore by McIntyre. Then McIntyre with a German suplex. Overhead belly to belly, on the outside. And he didn't really get a lot of it. And Dominic kind of twists his body mid-air, so he like lands on his side, his like upper shoulder, and it's like, why are they even doing this? After fucking what happened to Big E, why would they do this needless spot? An overhead belly to... And I'm not saying Drew is Ridge Holland, I'm not saying that, but I mean, Dominic's not even like the heaviest guy ever, and there just wasn't much on this move, and when we seen that thing happen to Big E, why do they feel the need to do such a move that, like, it's not necessarily a dangerous move, but it's a risky move? Why do they feel the need to do a risky move on the outside when it's completely unnecessary? I mean, a clothesline or a big boot, anything, something that's safe, just a normal flat back bump, could work. But for some reason, they go for the overhead. Drew then gets in the ring, hits the Claymore on Seth. 1, 2, 3, but no, not 3, because his foot was on the bottom rope. Drew McIntyre kind of caused this. He was pulling Seth Rollins' leg so far that it ended up being on the rope. So instead of moving Seth Rollins and going for the pin again, for some reason, McIntyre decides he ain't going to do that. He takes Seth to the outside. He removes the announce table. He removes like the padding from the announce table. He climbs up on top of it. I guess he's going to go for some sort of powerbomb or something, but Seth Rollins manages to counter. Seth Rollins hits a pedigree on the announce table. The announce table doesn't break. Seth Rollins doesn't sell it. If Triple H done this, he'd be selling his knees. He'd be laying on his back, knowing that pedigree took everything out of him. It was a desperation move. But what does Seth Rollins do? Hits the pedigree, and literally within 1 second, he's already up on his feet, throwing Drew McIntyre into the ring. For people to think that Seth Rollins and Drew are great work, they're not. They can't fucking sell shit. This was ridiculous. Back in the day, pedigree for Triple H, he'd have been rolling the boot. He'd have been selling on his back for at least a minute. Today, Seth Rollins doesn't even sell for a split second. Hits the pedigree on the announce table. Is his knees sore? Did it hurt his knees? No. He just stands up, jumps up, throws Drew in the ring, hits a curb stomp. 1, 2, 3. Still the champion. Still boring us to death. Seth freaking Rollins. You know what? I'd go as far as saying his title reign is worse than Roman Reigns. Hell, at least Roman Reigns, at least it's got a big feel to it. At least the belt Reigns has got, it feels important. Seth Rollins' title reign, it doesn't even feel important. It feels like you could argue Gunther's belt. I think the Intercontinental belt feels a little bit more important than this title, to be honest. Seth Rollins' run as champion has absolutely sucked, and unfortunately for us tonight, guys, it continues. Seth celebrates. Judgment Day are unhappy. Drew's obviously beaten. Drew screwed Drew, I guess. Day 1, we're not getting a new champion. We're getting the same old Seth freaking Rollins. So there you go. Rollins retains. Rhea Ripley retains. Nia Jax beat Becky Lynch. And we have Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark, new number 1 contenders for the title. So that's really it. Giovanni Vinci got injured. Nothing. Cody Rhodes cut the same old shitey promo that he does every single week. Nakamura cut the same backstage promo that he cuts every week, and nothing interesting happens really, apart from the return of the great one, The Rock. And you know what? WrestleMania 40, Rock versus Roman Reigns. All that's going to do is take the main event away from CM Punk. So it looks like for potentially the third year, maybe the third year in a row, The Rock has taken the main event away from CM. Not third year in a row, but third year altogether that The Rock is taking a main event away from CM Punk. Because I don't include night one as the main event. For me, the main event of WrestleMania is whatever goes on last Sunday night. And that is night two. And if The Rock's willing to come back, if The Rock's willing to wrestle, then I can guarantee you what will be last is The Rock versus Roman Reigns for the WWE Undisputed Championship and for the head of the table. So there you go, guys. Good to see The Rock back. Interesting to see The Rock back. Great promo with Jinder Mahal. The main event was okay, just but the lack of selling at the end. I just don't rate Seth Rollins as a worker. I really don't. Nia versus Becky was all right, I guess. I'm going to give this Raw a 3 out of 10. A 3 out of 10. I thought it was not bad. The Rock stuff was good, but I mean, there's just so much bad stuff. I said it was not bad, but there was quite a lot of bad stuff on the show. Too much crap for me. The women's tag team titles, Cody Rhodes cutting the same shit promo, Rhea Ripley sucks. I just don't want to see this. So yeah, guys, there you go. I'm giving it a 3 out of 10. Let us know your thoughts down below. I'll catch you in the next one, and hopefully The Rock is back until WrestleMania. Till next time, though. Peace.